And match number 1 has concluded with Thailand beating Cambodia, and they are moving over to the winners game, sorry. And we also found out who has won between Indonesia and the Philippines. It is in fact going to be Indonesia winning against the Philippines 3-2, so going the whole way, all 5 games. And put it to them, the Philippines did put up a good fight. The first couple of games, they didn't get over 5 kills, and then the last games, they were getting above 10, 11 kills. So Indonesia definitely had a bit of a struggle. But if you're coming back, don't worry, it is Thailand versus Indonesia going to the next game. My name is Talha, and I'm joined by Luke St. Rogers, and we're going to be bringing you all the action that is of GLL Nations Royale. How are you feeling about this matchup, Saint?
Yeah, I think we got our 2 expected winners. In Thailand and Indonesia, we expected both of them to make it through. But really, it was a lot closer than I thought. I was expecting like a 3-0 or a 3-1 from Indonesia. And the fact that it went the distance to all 5 maps is maybe a sign that Thailand is going to be the favourite coming into this game. But I expect, given that they both won a series, we're going to have a really close one here. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, full 5 games, or are we going to expect...
I'm not sure about that. I would say I'm going to go with a 3-1 Thailand.
3-1 Thailand. That's
my prediction.
I'm saying. Well, what I was having a little think about, which I wanted to ask you was, of course, we saw Thailand being very overly aggressive and making those insane pushes and pushing up as an entire 32-man team, holding a line. How much will that change against Indonesia?
I don't know whether that was a playstyle because they're against Cambodia or whether that was just how they play. And if it's just how they play against a better team, there is that opportunity that they can be punished. So I think in this, they need to be a little bit less aggressive if they want to win it and they want to be more convincing. But they do still have, in my opinion, the gun skill advantage in this game. They're still probably the better team going in. So I expect we'll still see a bit of aggression, but maybe they'll temper it down a bit and maybe they'll land together rather than setting off your duckmans on their own to go for those 1v5s like we saw. But I think Indonesia, if there's any team in here that can punish that sort of aggression, it is them.
Now, a question that I wanted to ask the general for the Thai team, but I don't know if we would be able to get into an interview with them afterwards or if we have a translator on hand. But I wanted to ask, especially you, in a situation like that we saw in Sanhok, how quickly do your plans change as a squad leader or general in this fact when you see the circle just not favour you whatsoever?
Well, I think everyone goes into a game with ideas about how they would get to specific areas. Like, particularly in squads, you have in your head, like, I know this is the route I want to take if I go to the northwest island. I know this is the route I want to take if I need to get to Paradise, right? And I think they would have come in with the same sort of idea. We definitely saw Thailand have a game plan in mind. So I expect those teams that we'll see in EU and Americas as well will have a sort of a very specific game plan that they want to do no matter what. And the thing that really throws you in a lurch is when you get landed on, right? If you land in the places you want, then you can just stick to your plan. You just keep doing it. Obviously, there'll be minor changes depending on what the other team do. But generally speaking, you'll stick to the plan you have.
Indeed. Right, so going into this next matchup, we have the same maps in the same order as well. The Vitas that have come in is going to be Erangel, Miramar, Sanhok, Vikendi, and then the decider map will be Erangel once again. I'm excited. I really do hope we get to go as far as Vikendi this time. It would be really fun to see what the playstyle on that one. It's not squads, but what the playstyle would be.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see it on the next 2 broadcasts of Nations Royale, but whether we'll see it on this one, I'm not 100% sure. As I said, I expect it's going to be something like a 3-1. And maybe that game, like the Sanhok game, might be the one that Indonesia win because we saw Thailand have a really rough time on it. Yes, they won, but compare them to the other 2 where they had 27 and 22 alive at the end. I think they only ended with 16 on the Sanhok game. So there's definitely a suggestion that maybe Thailand's approach is slightly worse on that map. And I think that's where Philippines need to look to get into this series and potentially open the route to that Vikendi and maybe the last Erangel.
Well, speaking of the next broadcast, let's have a look at the brackets and see what matchups we potentially could be looking at if the brackets are ready. I hope I haven't rushed the producers there. But we can see what... so currently we're going to be going into the Thailand versus Indonesia. As you can see there, Cambodia and the Philippines have fallen down to the lower bracket. And what are we expecting how this bracket will look like then? I take it you're expecting Thailand to go straight through to the Asian finals.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see the Philippines make it through just based on what we've seen from the first 2 games. You're probably expecting Philippines to beat Cambodia, maybe in a closer game than we saw at least with Thailand and Cambodia. And then, that loser round, the loser final, probably between Indonesia and Philippines is a rematch, which, it should be a great game based off what we've seen from the group stage. But realistically, I'm excited for that best of 7. Probably, I think Thailand and Indonesia will be the grand final overall. But there's definitely a chance where maybe Cambodia or Philippines could turn around. You know, they could have learned something from game 1 and turn that into a finals appearance.
So what we're going to be seeing? What are you expecting Philippines to go over?
I'd say Philippines to make it through that Cambodia match, and then Thailand most likely should be beating Indonesia. But
okay, so
anything can
a
happen.
rematch between Indonesia and Philippines coming in there right there. So the finals will be a best of 7, and they will be that May 31st. That's the consolidation final.
Yeah, so that'll be the losers final, and then the final day was for the grand final, which I expect.
Looking at the team rosters, the scoreboard, it is currently sitting on 0, so these will be getting filled up quite fast. Of course, we are introducing a new general. It is on Kledru TV. Again, once I hope I do not butcher any of these names. Sorry, no, that is for the
Uncle
Philippines.
Jew, I would assume.
No,
but that is Philippines.
That's for the
it's
Philippines.
Defiant is the.
I have lost the picture for. Okay,
it's Defiant for Indonesia. Yeah.
All right, Defiant.
Who's I think he's currently the coach of Aerowolf T1, if I remember correctly, who are probably the biggest team from Indonesia and a team we've seen a few times at an international level. You know, make it to the global events. I mean, they didn't play particularly amazing. You compare that to the Army Gaming and the Myth from Thailand, and they're definitely worse off. But if you compare to the Cambodian team, where there's not really anyone on that team that was, you know, an international level. At least now we have 2 teams with international level players that should make this game much closer.
And listing out, who do you expect from Indonesia to be, you know, those key players that will make those make or break plays for their respective countries?
Well, we've got 3 VTF players, and I expect they're going to be playing together. Same with VTR. You usually put the teams that play together in the little platoons which you have in the game. And if they can successfully bring about their team play into this, that's when they should be in a better position to win out games.
Yep, and we are underway. Game number 1 of this match between Indonesia versus Thailand is beginning. The plane flying from Primorsk all the way up to just above Stalba. And are we going to see yet another Pachinki fight? We can already see Thailand going towards Georgia Pole. So they've got to probably stick to their same plans here, which is Georgia Pole, Thailand, Pachinki split. Meanwhile, Indonesia going towards the Yasnaya Poliana and the southern edge of the map there.
Yeah, Indonesia getting that early control of the military base means that if it does go down there, we have that chance to set up a sort of defensive line, and we get a bit of a D-Day moment with Thailand trying to break on. But I think realistically, you're looking at this where Thailand's expecting the circle to go west and expecting to be able to set up for that, and just trusting their gun skill if the circle doesn't go their way.
Oh no, Mackenzie nearly dying on the parachute, but he's landed in the middle of absolutely nowhere in the open, and he's being peppered completely, falling down to a slither of health. Can he dodge the bullets?
At least lucky for him, he's against 2 people with ironside guns. The downside along the roof, so I think he might actually escape for now and keep that 1-man advantage Thailand has, because one of the Indonesian players isn't in the server, but he's 8 HP, he's got behind a tree. One thing he sort of needs to wait for is them to just go start looting. You know, the other 2 players to sort of give up. But we see the circles popped. It's going to be around the Pachinki area. Expect it's probably going to go towards the river somewhere, sort of where King Reds is. You know, that sort of area of the map. But it's fairly equal. Thailand should be able to get control of that western side, particularly on the road that comes out of Pachinki. I think we'll see sort of a divide between the 2 teams there. But it's a pretty fair circle for the 2 and should make for a great game.
Yeah, I can already tell that there's a cluster of players in Yasnaya who's going to make their way down to the western side. Nice and simple landings to start off this game, unlike the last one on Erangel, where both teams were fighting over Pachinki. But you can tell why they want to fight over Pachinki, because you see how much of the circle is already being dominated by Thailand by having that central position. They effectively have secured all the rotations of the rest of their team from Georgia Pole to come in and take whatever position they want. Effectively, they are the wall.
Yeah, we saw against Cambodia that Thailand like to be aggressive early on. Right? They took a lot of early fights versus that team. And I'm curious if they'll do the same again and try and progress beyond that road, or whether they'll just set up and just see where the circle goes first.
Well, the circle is skewed down towards the south, so there could be a possibility that it might completely wreck the Thai players in.
Well, I'm thinking that Pachinki group stays where they are, right? Because it is.
Yeah.
You sort of consider the circle. You ignore the bit that's on military. You sort of consider Pachinki, even though it's not. You consider it the center of this circle just because of the fact that it's probably like there's, I'd say, 5% chance it goes to the other side of the river. So you can sort of ignore that. You might see a player or two go down there, sneak down and try and get a head start on everyone else. But I expect Thailand to take control of that Pachinki area. Maybe try and progress up to Potato Hill if they're feeling confident, but mostly set up in the sort of the ferry fields of the southwestern side of this zone. And I think we're going to see a fairly slow start to the game. But once we get to the sort of 10, 15-minute mark and we get to like the third phase, that's when it's going to explode and become a proper 32v32.
Yeah, well, while Thailand have Pachinki in the center there, Cambodia do have the southern side of Pachinki in the yellow house. But let's have a look at what their comms are saying.
Boleh lah. Aku satu senjata doang nih, M249.
Aku belum ada rifle loh, anjing. Aku sama sekali gak ada rifle, anjing.
Connect-nya anjing nih, sumpah.
Oke.
Sama, aku malah nggak ada jarak jauh.
400 nih. IndiHome. Paket losku ada, Cuk.
Coba OC habis ini dah.
Yeah.
Right, again, calm and collected in the starting phases of this matchup. Sorry, I did misspeak. It was not Cambodia, it was Indonesia comms that we were tuning into. And it looks like he's bought himself a new TV there, Defiant has.
Yeah, and it sounded very relaxed, didn't it? There was no rush. I would almost suggest that maybe what we had there was the sort of the platoon captains. There's probably 4 or 5 of them in a team speak, and then obviously the players in their little platoons all together. Because you'd expect a lot more sound than that if you got 32 players in the same Discord. So a potential insight into sort of how they have their comms set up, how they have the split going, and a way that they will work as a team in the future. But we already see that the Indonesian team sort of split up into these little groups. We have the sort of the forward operating base on the southern side of the circle around the river, and then you have the group next to Potato Hill, but also that group in Yasnar. There's 3 sort of individual units that potentially might work independently to achieve the same goal.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that even though you said we ignore the circle that is on, Homeboy just team killing his own team at the current moment. Maybe they're a bit too far away and they know that they can't get in because they have no vehicles. This is so upsetting for Thailand. But just back onto the last thought that I was having. You want to ignore the part of the circle that's in the military islands. However, Indonesia, they have like this kind of a southern hold on the yellow houses. If the circle does go, they can effectively cross that bridge straight away. And Badak hasn't got into that. Badak got in.
The struggle. There he is. He's got in.
There you go.
The banana suits. But yeah, I mean that is the sort of trade-off. Obviously, it can only go south if you go south in like phase 2, phase 3, and in those situations you can still stay in the blue. Yeah, it doesn't do too much. It's like a Uber service running. So I expect maybe the Thai team will like go towards ferry and swim over or drive all the way around if it does go south. But we see second circle now popping sort of towards those yellow houses that we see sort of right by the river. Realistically, you expect it will go north, but now Thailand needs to set up that road I was talking about. If they can get control of the whole western side of that zone, they can lock Indonesia into a really small part of the map and potentially open an opportunity to have a blowout game once again.
If I was Indonesia, we already have some presence in the south of that circle. I might want to take Ferry Pier as well, and that way you know that you are not getting flanked from behind.
Yeah, I think you want to get up on that hill, the hill just north of Ferry Pier. That's a really strong area, particularly with this circle. And if Thailand can get that and retain the control of the hills they already have, then Indonesia really can't go anywhere if the circle goes west.
Look at this, 7 minutes 50 already into the game, and it's looking like it's going to be a long one, unlike the last ones. But you can see Thailand, their rotation into the circle, they're trying to grab as much land and as much presence into this next circle as possible. A lot of this circle, saying, is water currently.
Yeah, and you're only looking about 60% of the circles playable. And right now, Thailand has control of a majority of that, right? Indonesia is sort of stuck on the eastern side of the map. And the fact that Thailand has made that progression to the hill first means that essentially they're going to have to go for some gamble crash if the circle doesn't go their way. Although the fact that the Thailand team is spread out like this, where we see these separate groups, means that if, let's say, 15, 16 Indonesian players crash the same place, they could probably take it. But generally speaking, those trades won't be favorable.
Now you can see God me out. Trying
That's
to
great,
scout
man.
out. God me out. Trying to scout up ahead. Thailand.
They're good at team killing. aren't
Yeah,
they?
team killing.
They do it a lot. I mean, it is worth pointing out that in this, you can only actually see team names above 7 other people. And the rest of them,
Okay.
the rest of them only appear on the map. So it's probably a mixture of lack of communication and lack of map awareness, maybe.
Oh,
hello.
dear.
That's a Thai
Okay.
circle if I've seen one.
Yeah, the circle has just shifted north, and look at how much presence Thailand got and the initial circle
Team
before
killing
that.
again.
Here we go.
Oh, no.
Indonesia, they're so squeezed, Saint. They're
Yeah.
squeezed.
But that's what we're saying about how the importance of that Freypir Hill. The fact that Thailand have a lot of their team there now means that Indonesia basically have to crash something, right? They have to try and take a fight, or they just have to go sit in the shacks in the field and hope for the best. But you can't get more than like 1 or 2 players in those shacks.
Noadra spotted out the main clump of the Indonesian players. Does miss pretty much all of his shots and then gets tagged up in return.
He hit that ridiculous flick in the last game, but he's struggling with the long range ones. We see Thailand now starting to spread out in the field, take that map control that I've been saying is so important. And Indonesia really, they need to find a way to get a bit of progression, because realistically the circle's going to end in that field. Like 90% of the time we see the circle, it ends in that field. So I want to see Indonesia get a bit aggressive on some of the shacks, or at least try and take control of that north side where Thailand looks really weak.
You can already see Thailand, their methodology on how to deal with this. They've got all the prime positions that they do need, and they're already making a circle around the Indonesian players. Finally, a knock has come through. Can it be flushed into a kill?
Yeah,
Delta Mix finds it. Pisces, he does go down and is finished. Up on the rock. You don't want to be just standing in the open there. If you do get knocked, you want to get knocked into cover at least. So there we go. 31 for 31.
There's a great opportunity for Indonesia. If they can get a couple more knocks on this northern side, that northern hill looks so weak for Thailand. And there, you can really turn around that control. You know, you can go away from being stuck on this eastern side to actually having control of most of the circle and locking Thailand into that southwestern corner. So I want to see a bit of aggression come out. I want to see a bit of proactive play from the team. Otherwise, Thailand's just looking to solidify the game. We see that now they're starting to move more players into the shacks and get complete control of this the field. And the more that Indonesia allows that to happen, the harder it becomes then for them to come back.
Circle is popping. Let's see. It centralizes Donut straight in Indonesia. They can actually move up very slowly into it, but I'm not too sure if they get enough cover if they do move forward into that circle. Thailand still looking like they've got a strong position, but they do have to push up into the field. They have some of that south hill near Ferry Pier available. But yeah, okay, there we go. We can see what is in the circle currently.
Realistically speaking, there's not enough room for the Indonesian team there. They need to find a way to... I expect they'll try and wrap around the north. Try and get control of that hill, because it's easier to push down from the north than it is from the eastern side. But that's why we see a lot of the Thai players now moving towards that area. We see a bit of a congestion happening on that northern hill, and I think this is where we're going to see the first big fight of this game.
And you can see some of the Thai players have opted to go take those shacks early. And because they've done that so early, Indonesia are now trapped. They are forcing Indonesia to make a play.
But here comes the push.
The north.
The Indonesian team's starting to converge on the northern side, and they're getting ripped apart. Julio goes down early. Oh, Julio gets a kill early, rather. And this car here is really weak. The one thing you don't want to be doing is driving into a group in a car, because you will get blown up. And these people on the eastern side are punishing Indonesia hard. Oh, the grenade's perfect.
Deer is actually going to blow up. The car's already gone. Stay Bad is there. Jen goes up. It finds a knock. Paul falls back as well. Yadi's gone. And now Indonesia, on this push, manages to actually get another kill.
You can see in the kill feed that Thailand's positioning's really helped them out. They've got a 6-kill advantage now, but there are knocks all over the place. A bunch of the Thai players are down. But this northern group is in such a rough position. There's 4 of them behind one car, and they're getting ripped apart by God Meow. He's got 4.
Joe Man's happy, manages to get some headshots as well, but it's God Meow that comes in with the amazing flank on top. But the rest of Indonesia, that buys them time to push forward. You can see they're trying to line up. Thailand, they're kind of caught in a little valley there, but you can see they're bugging out straight away. Oh no! Tinoy.
That's a rough position. There we go. It goes down. But we saw that Indonesia wanted that northern rotation, and Thailand recognized that as well and collapsed it first. And now there's just nowhere for Indonesia to go.
Thailand, now that they've won a bit of ground, they're just going to be pushing in and cleaning up as they go along. Indonesia, it looks like it's falling. That is a good nade. Oh my God, it only got 4 people, but it does get 2. Guns and Fair, he's down. The general out for Thailand.
Yeah, Thailand's really starting to pull that gap though. A 16 or 13 kill advantage now. Make it 14 rather. And I think Young's trying to go for a bunch of runovers. Don't quite get one for now, but Indonesia needs to try and pick off these players one by one. And he actually does get the runover. He gets a kill with the car, securing another kill and pushing that advantage further on. And now Indonesia's spread out all over the place. The cohesion of the team is gone.
Oh, the grenade on the car, but Janku somehow manages to get back in. And he just keeps going. Here we go. Indonesia on the retreat now, but they're being completely pushed from the north and the south. They've had terrible positioning this entire game. Look at the map. Thailand, they didn't even care about the circle anymore. They've got a full force of Terminators coming in on the top.
They're running everyone over at this point.
Yeah,
Flash got 2 with the car, with the bike rather. Can he get any more? Let's see if he can get a third. Get a kill streak with his with his bike. He's gonna do it. No way.
Come on, boys.
He got.
Oh, he did. He got him. He got knocked.
No, he got 2 with the bike. He gets traded, but it's perfect for the rest of the team to pull up and finish this
No, it
off.
doesn't matter because there's another guy in a buggy. Justo. He comes in. Oh, Kodaxi as well. Oh, there's team killing. Okay. There we go, and there's the victory.
Yeah, a perfect counter by Thailand, recognizing the need for Indonesia to get the northern side. They countered it. They got so many kills, and then they were just able to play with their food. A bunch of runovers, particularly by Yanku. I think got 3 with the car in the end.
The early decision making there by Thailand, being able to take those shacks out of play for Indonesia very early before the circle pops, forcing Indonesia to only have 1 play available for them, which is to go north. And they did try, and bless them that they did, because it nearly worked in their favor, but they just got collapsed on.
Yeah, I think going north was definitely the right play. I think it just took too long to do it. They sort of put themselves in a position where they only went north when they had to. And if they got control of it like a circle earlier, Thailand couldn't have collapsed and pincered them. They couldn't collapse and stop them from getting into the zone. So maybe the opportunity, or maybe the win condition now for Indonesia is that they need to show some of the aggression that Thailand is. Otherwise, they're just going to get held out of the circle.
It was a molly. Look at that.
Oh. And then we saw Flash come in flying, get the final kill into King Reds before he gets knocked. And the trades came in perfectly from the rest of the team. It was just a perfect execution by the Thai roster.
A walk in the park for Thailand. Well, not so much like the last game, but definitely a walk in the field for them. Insane. I really do hope that we get to go on board with their comms while massive action is taking place.
I would love some comms to happen when they're just running everyone over.
Yeah, are they calm and collected? Are they just, messing
having a bit of fun? I would assume once you get to that sort of point, you're just having a bit of fun in the comms, trying to get those clips with the bikes and the cars.
Well, there's one thing you can really see for the players is that they're just having fun with it. In the first game, we saw them trading clothes and whatnot, and that's all it's about. There's no prize pool for Nations Royale. All there is honor and making sure you're having fun. But that was game number 1 on Erangel. Game number 2 is going to be on Miramar. So don't go anywhere. We're going to find out who's going to be the victor of that. Thailand. They have been the victors in match number 1 and in match number 2 already. Game number 1, they're showing Indonesia that they might have gotten away with a win against the Philippines, but against them, they're going to have to try harder. My name is Tyler. I'm joined by St. Luke Rogers, and we're bringing you all the GLL Nation broadcasts for the Southeast Asia region. That was a butcher of a sentence, but regardless, we're going to be going to game number 2 in Miramar. Now, Saint,
I think you just anointed me as a saint, so I'm happy with
that. Before we go on to this game, before we actually went live, you said, are we looking at a 4th map? And I said, well, I personally need to see the performance of Indonesia on the 2nd map to fully judge. Well, how do you feel about that then?
I think we saw in that Thailand-Cambodia game, we had a glimpse of how one-sided it might be. I think it was 22-0 in our first match, but it wasn't until we saw the 27-0 on Miramar that we saw just how dominant Thailand would be. So I definitely think there's an opportunity for Indonesia to come back from that, despite how one-sided game one was. But they need to have a better showing here. It needs to at least be a close game if we go into the Silent match, which we know was Thailand's worst map in that first series. If Indonesia can at least make it close now, maybe we will see a fourth map at least, and maybe go away.
Yeah, so we're going to have a look at the scoreboard and see exactly who out of the two teams were dominating the most. And oh my god, Indonesia, everyone's just got one kill. Not everyone, actually. Only 7 people got one kill. But look at Thailand again. Six-Sack pulling up there with 4 kills.
3 of them in the bike.
3 kills, yeah, and half of those kills are with a bike. And Godmeow, insane, just flush, just shooting fish in a barrel there in the last game. That's the top 3 players at the moment. Brain's coming in with 3 as well. You can already see Thailand, everyone is still contributing towards their country to go forward. Indonesia, some can say they might have got a bit unlucky there with the circle shifts and whatnot, but it's all about how you rotate and how fast you make those rotations. I personally believe that we're a bit too slow.
Yeah, once again, we saw from Thailand where they have that perfect blend of the individual plays, but also the team play. 19 out of the 32 players having an impact on the game with kills, and more than 19 having an impact in terms of positioning. But then we see those individual moments of Godmeow and the vehicle with Six-Sacks that really sort of turned that game from what could have been a close 32v32 into a bit of a blowout match, which ended with only 7 of the players in Thailand dying. But I expect we're going to have a closer game too.
See, the difference is you can only fit, 4 people in a vehicle. And in squads, that is your entire team. And if you're crashing a compound, you know there'll be another 4 people there. But crashing on this in just one vehicle isn't enough. You're crashing into 3, 4 squads. You know, you have to take more people and solve the problem with that way. But we are underway with Miramar, a similar plane again. Well, no, complete opposite plane. But starting over at Prison Island, going back towards El Azahar. We're going to see a nice, lovely split coming down. Thailand going towards the north, Indonesia going towards Los Leones in the south. In fact, half and half, as some late droppers from Indonesia look like they're going towards San Martin.
Yeah, once again, Thailand's looking for those bigger cities. They went to Chumasera last time and contested it. This time contesting Los Leones. But realistically, Los Leones is big enough that you can fit, like, you could probably fit an entire server in that city and they could all loot happily and not run into each other. But I expect we'll see some aggression come out for the Thai players. They're trying to assert their dominance on this series and sort of prove that they're the best team. It certainly felt like that was their approach to the Cambodian match. But like they felt they were the better players, so they started taking gunfights, no matter whether they're at an advantage or a disadvantage. And it generally tended to work out.
There we go. We can see the circle, and we know that the blue's going to start coming in thanks to the official timekeeper of the GLL Nations Royale. And what a skewed circle that is. It could potentially go towards the islands. But I'm not too sure about this.
Generally speaking, your first circle needs to center around Impala if you had to have a chance. But I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, game 1, the circle was sort of in favor of Thailand. But this one, Indonesia has a lot of opportunity to take control of the initial circle.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the circle favors either of the teams, but it just is dependent on who makes that faster rotation first, essentially. You can see Thailand, they're actually got Los Leones, and they're a lot deeper in it. And that is where the circle, you have to go through Los Leones to get to that circle. If they can potentially hold off these early rotates, then their team can kind of backtrack and make their way in and grab any sort of prime real estate first before Indonesia start making their way in. Picardo, under the territory of Thailand. They own it. They've put their flag down. It is theirs. They're not going to be contested at all for that one.
And I think that group in Los Leones for the Thai team is going to be crucial to their success in this game. If they can get a better position, are we sharing a compound?
We are. No.
I do think it looks like Hexagon's just going to run. Hexagon's going to run away though, so I don't think we'll see any actual combat come out. But this Los Leones era is pretty much going to decide. Yeah, I mean, luckily he didn't see anyone anyway, so he wouldn't have had the misfortune of trying to kill someone and ending up not shooting people. As I've seen a few people die with it in the past. For some reason, people turn off the auto reload in FPS games, which I've never understood. This circle here, I want to see this Thai group in the edge of Los Leones just leave. Like, don't take the gunfight, just leave and get into the center of the circle. But talking of gunfights, Vanatica is in a 1v5 here, but he's got the initial knock.
Yeah, he does, and he's just gonna fall back from that one. Delta Mix has been knocked, and he's gonna crawl in and get picked up by Minion Skyen. However, it's quite in the open. He does look behind him to make sure no one's looking over. From Los Leones, and you can see Flash manages to find a couple of Indonesians kind of straggling along by themselves, gets a few tags up on Hexagon there, and he's just going to fall back, see if he can get the pick, but he's going to go back into cover.
The problem for him is that he's completely alone. Like, there's no one there to help him, so he needs to find a way to get 1 or 2 kills, at least trade his life, right, when you're in these separate positions. It's not something that I like to see in this sort of format where, realistically, you're only ever going to be fighting groups, right? Unless you're lucky and you happen to find a straggler, which might happen here. Like Nyotka and that we just saw, like they're in positions where realistically the most they're going to get is 1 kill, unless they do something incredible like we saw Duckman's do in game 2 of the last series.
We can only see some little skirmishes coming out there. Neokata throwing nades, is surrounded by 4 Indonesian players. I'm going to throw the nade full back. He is not in the best position to be fighting at the moment, and look at that. EDVK.
You'd expect
Ed King.
You'd expect this kill to come in here, and there's no opportunity to trade it. We spoke about the importance of trading, and there's just really no one there to support Ed King. So, support Nyotka rather. So Nyotka goes down. That should be the first kill in favor of Indonesia, and perhaps a little bit of hubris coming out from the Thai roster after their 4-map win streak.
There we go, making sure that kill is confirmed. I mean, how else would it not be confirmed? They could have just let him bleed out. There was no other person ready to get the revive. And now you can see Indonesia gaining a lot of land in the Northern Territory there. Thailand looking like they're quite slow on the rotate around Chimasera, but they are kind of making their way in very slowly. But it looks like it might be a bit too late. And they're going towards the northern side as well, the exact same side that Indonesia are making the rotation in.
Yeah, it looks like Thailand right now is more interested in gunfights than in contestation. But it seems to be working. They've got that trade in, so 31-31 now. Yeah, the initial man advantage with that kill on Nyotka is gone now. And I expect Thailand might try and take this fight. They've got a group of 4 Indonesian players sort of stuck, and they're pinching them from behind. 2 players in Just Mom and Scott's coming in behind. There should be a bunch of free kills if they can peek this ridge at the right time.
Yeah, just moments. He's coming in over. I think he spots the heads of... Oh, no, he just sees them straight up. 3 people. Gets 1 knock. Doesn't go for the flush. Goes for the next knock as well. There's a tree in the way, but they're just getting to cover in the nick of time. I think...
But Bumble goes down to Radri as well. Yeah. So the rest of the teammates towards that southern area coming in to help. You can't quite hear the other 2 players, but he knows roughly they're in this area, and they're getting taken out by the people. But the trades come in. The people from long range are helping out with the DMRs, which is allowing Scott some moments to run around quickly. 4 kills untraded going the way of Thailand now.
Yeah, Thailand managing to just force the way into the circle. Even though Indonesia do have a good solid front line, that front line is whittling down and falling. And you can see already they're just going to backtrack and go deeper into the circle. The next circle is about to pop in a couple of seconds. And there we go. Indonesia looking like they've got the prime position here. The rest of the team in the north by Impala need to make their rotation in quite quickly and get into position before this unstoppable force of Thailand start making their way into the circle.
Yeah, Indonesia have a lot of control right now. Once again, Thailand's knocking each other. I don't think we've had a game yet where Thailand's not at least got 3 team knocks. But they always seem to get the reses. But yeah, Indonesia has a great opportunity. I'm trying to be serious. And I just see a kill feed constantly. It's just Thailand versus Thailand.
No, that's Duckmans. That's Duckmans.
Yeah. They'll get the res because I think they don't see the signs above them. They go for the kill and then they realize it's a teammate.
Well, they don't have mirrors as well. They can't.
And it's also with the cars because we're on. I know the servers are like around 100 ping each. Sometimes you get like weird timings.
Oh no! Okay, I thought that.
That was teammates shooting each other, if I'm honest. But
no,
Gelman just hops out and gets the kill. Shibrit poked the bear, and the bear struck back. And he's going to get flushed as well. No opportunity for his teammates to help out. So another kill going the way of Thailand. Already a 5 clear advantage.
It very much looked like the Bronco just went up the hill and was about to land on its roof.
It looked like it was going to flip
while they're being sprayed. But there we go. Look at this. Thailand trying to come in. It's straight into the line of Indonesia. Rest does get a knock, but any more finds Svit in return elsewhere on the map. You can see Insecurity is pushing out. He's going to get the flush onto Sit. Very big kill for them to get. A bit too many bullets for my liking there. Could have been done a lot quicker. And you can see more kills. Joe Man's Happy gets taken down by Kamal's as well. This looks like it could be the right game for Indonesia. And you can see
this is where we're seeing their map control come into handy, right?
Yeah.
They got control of the center of this area, and Thailand now being forced to take the scraps. And although Thailand have that initial advantage, now Indonesia is striking. 2 players going down in quick succession. Tinoy flushed quickly. It looks like the second flush is going to come in. They're pushing that kill advantage back in their favor. But look at this circle. Thailand could wrap on this. They could get behind the Indonesian roster and take over the ridges by Puerto Paraiso and maybe find a way to win this.
Yeah, Puerto Paraiso is still in. However, Indonesia, they're so caught up in this fight. They only have 3 players in the next circle. Meanwhile, Thailand, they're sending a tiny little platoon to go deal with the fact that they don't have anyone in that circle at the moment. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people heading towards that circle. Indonesia realizing, you can see everyone in the middle of the map there kind of going backwards. Mackenzie finds Kamal in return. Teddy also goes down. That's 2 for 1.
We're going to head over quickly to the comms of Indonesia. See how they're approaching this game.
Tadi Donat Shift langsung gerak mestinya. Anjing. Kelamaan tadi nunggunya itu yang atas. Langsung masuk makanya coy. Awas di kiri ada ya, Gen. Di ini. Di arah biru ada. Di 3.
Arah jam berapa yang daerah Puerto?
Ya. Di Puerto ada kah?
Arah jam 78 di Puerto. Berarti di buletan-buletan itu. Hati-hati.
Mau meledak lagi.
Definitely less relaxed than they were last time, but it seems like they recognize where the Thai roster is. They're calling out Puerto Paraiso quite consistently, and you can see now that Thailand is starting to solidify a position there. But Indonesia has so much control of the northern and western side of this map that Thailand is sort of stuck, and they need to find a gunfight soon to open up this map in their favor.
Yeah, they're only 4 kills behind in the amount that are alive, 23 to 27. However, if you look on the map, we've got people like Mackenzie and a few other stragglers from Thailand that aren't in the circle, and it looks like they might be dying to the blue zone. So this might equalize the playing field here. And you can already see that Thailand, they've made that rotation in. They've got Puerto Paraiso, and now Indonesia, they need to turn around and take some ground at Puerto Paraiso for themselves. But, Saint, Puerto Paraiso is on the lower ground compared to the high ground. So what do you take?
I definitely think Indonesia have the better position here, but because of that water shift, it does come back in the favor of Thailand, and it's a pretty 50-50 circle
Flash,
here.
He's just run straight in. Look at him. He's just gone straight in to the warehouse. No one knows. He's in between all the Indonesians. He finds one. DK Bull. Wait.
The trade comes in. It was perfect. Perfect counter. He didn't even get the flush. But this is maybe Thailand's opportunity to collapse. The confusion by that push from Flash means that maybe they can find a way in. Indonesia's collapsing to try and get it back, and the kills are in their favor right now, but the knocks are coming in still. The kill feed is pretty much equal, but that initial player advantage that Thailand has might be the thing that solidifies the game for them.
Oh, look at this. Vanakota, he is just trying to climb up. They know they've got Indonesia locked into this warehouse. Now, it is terrifying clearing this warehouse because they could be literally anywhere. Flashbangs going in. You can see Tonke, he wants to make a push in. Nadu just closes the door on him. But you don't want to be pushing out of your cover at the moment. We see their entry fragger. Tries to get the entry on the outside of the building, but does fall. And now Thailand might have an opening to make their way in.
Yeah, we see this building has become the epicenter of the chaos of Miramar, and there's fights all over the place. Literally every corner of the building is seeing a gunfight happen, and the trades are pretty equal. Indonesia's bringing back that player disadvantage, but there's so many players knocked now.
There we go. Grenade finally connecting someone inside. A grenade on the outside connects as well. That's going to stop the push. People falling from everywhere, but now Thailand feel like they've got an entry. They climb in through the window. Just a moment. Goes in. Just moments. He's going to get
killed, surely.
Oh, no!
And what was a 5-player advantage for Thailand is now only 1, and the kill feed is all Indonesian. But Thailand's coming back in, 4 in a row. 2 players go down untraded, but there's knocks everywhere. More players go down. Thailand have the collapse on this building. They're wrapped all the way around it, and their northern group's just not helping out right now.
Oh my god! Kodaxi with an M249 in hand, he opens the door, but Hexagon spots it, might be throwing a nade. No, it's a smoke. That might give him the cover that he needs, but look where Hexagon is, and Banky. That is such a good position. They can see up the hill coming in. Thailand are having a massive trouble trying to breach this building.
Eventually, they're going to find a way. They have the 5-player advantage now, but there are so many players knocked from that Thai team, 3 right next to each other. if Indonesia can find the trade, suddenly we're going to be in an equal gunfight.
There we go. 2 more knocks for Thailand. Meanwhile, Indonesia still holding their ground. This is absolute madness. They're going in. Okay, right.
And it's not the only gunfight as well. We've got another fight happening in the north.
I don't know who's winning this battle for this warehouse at the moment. It's just chaos.
Indonesia definitely have the advantage by being inside, but that kill advantage is still in Thailand's favor. They still have that 2 extra. And once they can clear out those final players, and if they can make pushes like this, with Kanaxi getting the first, spawning one more, can he get the trade? No, he gets traded out. Why? Just kidding. Indonesia holding on for dear life in this building, but they're losing a lot of players outside right now. Duckman's doing work on the players on the north.
Oh, he knows. They get.
Oh, they jumped
not
out.
Even the res. Yeah, they just jumped out. They know the res is coming in. They're gonna go for it. It's still 10 for 7. 10 alive. 7. Make that 6 for Indonesia. Currently, Thailand. They've got a few stragglers just playing elsewhere. Currently, but somehow Indonesia have been keeping the score very, very equal.
We've seen a gunfight happen around this building for about the last 10 minutes now. And finally, it's coming to its conclusion, to its climax, as we see just 5 players left to hold on.
I gotta say, insecurities, he goes down through the door, through the window, actually.
And right now, I feel like Thailand might have this, but I'm a bot on the northern side. He's 1v4ing them right now. Minoru goes down. Can he get the flush? No, he gets traded. Nordra taking him down, and all that's left of the remainders sat in the rafters, sat in the corners of this building. 10 men of Thailand versus the 5 defenders of Indonesia.
Doesn't connect. Oh my god, 6 stacks. He gets pushed from that window and they go down. He's going to go and try and get the flush. He does, but look at this Thailand. They're coming in from the opposite side. They weren't prepared for that. Indonesia, they're all falling. 4 alive. Currently, maybe 1 standing. The smoke's everywhere. 5 kills for State Bad alone. Insecurities, and he falls, being the last one alive to hold the fort for Indonesia. But it doesn't last that long as Thailand. That was a harder game for them, but they do take map number 2 on Miramar.
The hold was heroic. The hold was courageous, but eventually they ran out of players. They ran out of manpower. And the siege of Puerto Paraiso goes in the favor of Thailand. 7 players surviving, so much chaos, so many gunfights happening all at the same time. We saw pretty much a 10-minute gunfight around that building, but eventually Thailand come out in control.
The siege, that will go down in the PUBG books of history as the siege of Puerto Paraiso. What an epic way to end the game number 2. I bet the comms there got a bit spicy for
Mad.
Thailand.
Yeah. I think chaotic was probably the only way you can explain it. But we said that this is the game where Indonesia needed to show that they could at least contest.
Yeah.
Right? They needed to show that they were better, because now they're moving on to Thailand's worst map. But somehow, despite the control Indonesia had of those circles, Thailand still found a way through. And yes, it was a close one. But you'd think if the teams were the other way around, that Thailand probably would have won it out by much bigger margin.
See, look, this is the problem. Hexagon has such a good position, and Kanaxi just coming in with the M249, opening the door. This is the problem with the warehouse, is that there's so many windows that anyone can vault into. You have to have someone watching each different room. And I think that's the problem that Thailand had for a lot of the time, trying to breach that. They had just no way to get in. And then once they started whistling down the players and charging on those knocks that they get, they started to make an opening for themselves. But honestly, that is a really good hold by Indonesia, as long as it lasted.
Yeah, and we saw that the Thai players sort of kept going in and trying to make hero plays, right? They were outside the building for a long time, and then every now and then 1 or 2 players would just walk in on their own, get a kill and then die. And the fact that they had the player advantage meant that it worked. But realistically, the teamwork wasn't quite there. And I don't necessarily want to use the word lucky, because I think it was more gun skill that won it for him. But Thailand really didn't play that amazingly and threw away a lot of lives to try and take that building. But ultimately, the win is the only thing that matters.
The same goes for Indonesia. They realized that they're getting the knocks, but they can't convert them into full-on kills, so they needed to push out, and that's when a lot of them actually died, by pushing out and trying to get those confirmed kills. But that was map number 2, and Thailand definitely still hold on to their, winning streak at the moment. They haven't been beaten once. Indonesia have shown that they are a force to be reckoned with, at least going into map number 3. Don't go anywhere. It's going to come on your screens after this short break. Thailand, their cages have been shaken by the last game thanks to Indonesia making a really strong hold on Puerto Paraíso. The siege of Puerto Paraíso, as it will go down in PUBG books of history. My name is Talha, I'm joined by Luke St. Rogers, and we're bringing you the action from the Southeast Asia GLL Nations Royale, and Thailand have been showing an incredibly dominating force out of all these games.
Yeah, but before we hop into talk about the Thailand game, a quick update of the losers game of Philippines versus Cambodia. Currently, the Philippines 2-0 up. So I think the 3-0 from Thailand was partly due to the fact that Thailand was great, but also it sort of shows that maybe Cambodia is the weakest team coming into this. So it looks like, as things stand, we're going to have that rematch of the other game that we didn't see from the first round in that losers game, which will be on the next broadcast. But back to this game. I think that's probably one of the closest games I've ever seen in Nations Royale in all 3 seasons. An absolute legendary game, as we saw the probably a 10-minute gunfight happen. It was incredible to watch.
Absolutely, that's what we're looking for. Games like that, matches like that, where it is trade after trade, and teams actually struggling to make a push into a building, and what a building to push into, a massive warehouse as well with different elevations and whatnot. But let's have a look at the scoreboard and the kills for both teams. Thailand up there with, look at that, Jay has 6 kills. Oh my days. Coming in.
But we see now on the Indonesian side that because they had such a close game, and because that sort of the core of the team that was stuck in that building for so long, that were able to have that big impact. We saw only 7 people had a kill after game 1, and now 19 of them. I mean, yes, it's less than Thailand. Yes, they're 2-0 down, but they're at least showing that they can contend with Thailand. They're at least showing that they're not that bad. They're not a bad team. And now we're coming into the match, which Thailand did the worst on in the last round. This was the game that they struggled. I mean, they didn't struggle. They did still wash over Cambodia, but this is potentially the point for Indonesia to come back in this series.
We see players like Tino IPPT still yet to get a kill. One of the top fraggers of the last match against Cambodia as well. But at least the rest of the Thailand team are kind of stepping up and getting kills where they need to be. And yeah, like you said, Indonesia, a lot more players getting kills. Still a few with 0 kills under their belts, but 5 kills for State Bad. And King Reds with 4 as well. It's all going to add up for them if they can keep this kind of play style going into the next game. Potentially we could see a win coming out on Sanhok. What do you say? It was Thailand's weaker map?
Thailand's worst map. Yeah, I mean, I say that like they didn't win 16-0. But I mean, compare that to the 27-0 that they had on Miramar. It was a much closer game. So I want to see this as the game that Indonesia comes back, and then we go to the Vikendi, where I mean, another team's played it yet. So anything could happen that game, and potentially push us to a game 5 and potentially a reverse sweep.
Indeed, as we start off on this Sanhok map, you can see the plane, not a very good plane to allow players to go anywhere, well, everywhere on the map at the moment. But Thailand, they're going to be going towards the resort and boot camp. And we're going to have a boot camp fight to start off with, as Nodrara finds RDK with the shotgun. And look at this already. Thailand showing domination as they land first, grab their guns. And now it's just an all-out shootout anymore. Managed to get a kill, but he's on a slither of health as he pushes in towards the shooting range. Indonesia coming in as well. Thailand, it's all just turned around.
Yeah, in terms of man advantage, there's so many more Indonesian players compared to Thai players. So if they can work together as a group, they can really shut down the Thai team. But the trades are coming in pretty well. If the Thailand players can at least trade 1 for 1, then realistically, the rest of the team's going to be in a good position.
You can see Yadi.
He's got a 1v8.
Yeah, 1v8 right now with a UMP. Half HP. They're just outside the door. Needs to make sure that he's in a good position here. He's going to jump out.
That's killing each other again. Uh-oh.
I think that's team damage. Yeah, that's team damage there.
He just got taken out by his teammate from range, and now there should be a free flush for Indonesia. Thailand's arch nemesis seems to be the... he's fallen over. He's tripped.
He's just tripped and banged his head on the window. There we go.
He stepped on a bit of ice.
Oh no, Canaxi's also fallen down into the pits and spit. He's going to be pushing out. Just get out of there, my dude.
No, I don't think there's an opportunity. Now he just wants to try and trade 1 for 1. Maybe save his teammate or flush him, knowing the Thai players. They seem to like shooting each other. Probably the most unfortunate knock I've ever seen on that. The struggle's sweet. Get over that wall. think you forgot you could vote for a second.
There we
Should be able to get the resin.
Oh.
I mean, we said that Indonesia had control, right? But you look at the kill feed, and it's actually pretty equal. The Thai players have actually successfully traded overall. Yes, they can probably take out these last few players, and like Tears going down there with a flush. But Thailand really has come out of this not that bad a place.
No, they haven't at all. But if Indonesia managed to win this fight at boot camp, they've won the fight for map control currently. And there we go. As well, Teddy actually gets the kill onto Konaxi from behind, but Svit, you can see he's right below someone, and they know exactly what's up. And hello, there's 3 people here. You're not going to have 4. Actually, you're not surviving that whatsoever. Godmeow on the edge there as well, spots them all out. Job jab, he is down 2. Godmeow is going to get pushed. The nades, the mollies, everything's going. The flashbang as well.
He's at a rough one there. They know where he is. He's half HP. Can he at least get a kill? Oh.
The second one.
He gets one. Can he get the flush? No, he can't. There's the kill. So Thailand now 4 players behind. We said this was their worst map, and it definitely, at least early on, seems to be that way. With realistically 22 to 27 now. But Sixax trying to trade. He gets the kill. He gets 2. Can he pull off a hero play to pull the kills back in their favor? He gets the flush as well. It's perfect from him. If he can get 1 or 2 more, then realistically Thailand will come out of this quite well, given the disadvantage they had coming into the boot camp.
Okay, it might look like he's in a rough position.
Is he playing versus bots? He's decided he's playing versus bots, and he's just killing them all.
Like, they're all running at him one by one, and look at this. He is just baiting them in. Only 2 angles that he needs to cover. A bit better right now.
Trainer.
And look at this. The entirety of the Thailand roster is on the hillside behind him, so they can give some covering fire, and he's just crouching.
This might be perfect bait. He might be able to bait them around the corner and get these kills, but this any more with this push, if he can get a flush or 2, he's already got 2 knocks. And realistically, Sixax not in a position to help him out. He's just prone. He's become a snake in the grass. And like a snake, is looking to bite the ankles of whoever runs by that wall.
Is Anymore still alive? Anymore is still alive.
He's going
actually pushing in.
The reses have come in though, so now he's in a 1v4. If you can at least find a flush or 2, then he's going to be in a good position. But all these players looking to get him. But the knock does come in. Sixax as well goes down as they check the wall just to make sure.
Where's he going? Okay.
Where's anyone? I mean, I'm probably more confused than you are right now. I'm not got a clue what's going on.
Okay, Indonesia finds Sixax, and now they're going to push up this hill. They know that Thailand is there anymore, doing a great job of keeping these players on their toes. Another knock comes in. Gunsfair, you want to get him up. He's your commander. Anymore jumps up. The headshot coming in. The jumping headshot. Anymore. He knows he's got 2 knocks. He's going to run around.
He's got 3.
He gets the 3rd. He's wiped out this entire compound. He's won it for Indonesia, and they can push up and push back the rest of Thailand.
He's turned off their headsets and he's ran straight at them. And he's got 3 kills for it. But meanwhile, Duckman's from behind was laying into all the teammates trying to come help him. But that's fine because he doesn't need teammates. Just kills them all. He gets 3. Julio's just chilling on the roof. Apparently it's nice up there. Thailand are running each other over again whilst Indonesia shoots each other. So, Duckman's goes down. I think he got 2 or 3 from that ridge. Was doing a great bit of it. Meanwhile, whilst this massive fight's going down, just look at the circle. Thailand, half their team's just in the middle of the circle, just like AFK, watching a film or something.
Indonesia have decided, let's not get any sort of circle control because they were in paradise.
I forgot what game they're playing.
They're just going as a full 32-man team. Well, 23 at the current moment. They've pushed out of boot camp, and they're just hunting the rest of the Thai players in this area. Escoluzia is getting tagged up, might get killed here as well. If he does, there's no knock, no revive coming in. You can see Master Bow carry us. What an excellent name. Trying to line up the shot, just breathe. Like that.
He tagged it. He actually got the hit there. It was a nice shot. But it kind of feels like right now, Thailand are trying to play PUBG, whereas Indonesia are playing like some team deathmatch game, like playing COD, just running around getting kills. And it seems to be working. It's got a 6-player advantage right now. But that lack of map control might come to bite them as they need to push some compounds later on. So it's still I would say not necessarily a 50-50 game. I think that 6-kill advantage is big enough that Indonesia has to be the favourites now. But if the rest just finds a little bike that he's left behind from earlier, it's not even a good bike. It's a scooter as well. He's just going to rock up, pick one of his teammates up, and just go chill in the circle. But if Thailand can get that centre of the circle locked down, right? Because all these Indonesian players presumably don't have much loot because they all collapse in it so quick. Presumably don't have much meds because they've been in the blue for so long, been fighting for so long. If Thailand could just go away, could just take control of that map, then there's still an opportunity for them to win this and close it out as the 3-0.
Okay, I thought Mackenzie was on land there, but he's not.
The guy was looking for him and just fell down. Oh no.
Oh, they're swimming.
Yeah,
Oh,
swim
no.
next to each
Oh, no. He's going to see him. No one has any
But he can't get his gun
rounds.
out, though,
Yeah,
so it don't
no one
matter.
can get the guns out.
They're going to be staring at each other.
It's good. Oh, he sees him.
Oh, he sees him. What is going on? He's swimming so slowly as well. But he can get out. He can get up here and just shoot from the head.
He's trying
That's
to
a free
find
kill.
it. There he is.
It's the freest kill he's ever got.
Okay,
I've
and now
gone.
swim away. Swim
Run,
away. Go,
run
look
away.
At everyone from Indonesia just turn around. Like,
I don't
they're
know what's
coming.
going on.
They're coming.
Uh,
Hey, it looks like Thailand are actually helping him out. We can see one player just above him getting tagged up from behind. Maybe he can get into a nice bit of cover. Might be able to get his gun out and be prepared. Yeah, there we go.
Mackenzie's actually, like, so many of these players are turned around looking for him. They're actually, like, wasting so much of the time.
Oh, no.
Is he going to get another one? Surely they know where he is. Please. Please. There we
he
go.
went for
The trade comes in. It's better than nothing. Still a 6-man advantage for Indonesia, but this game, man.
Yeah,
What is going on?
This.
It's
No
perfect.
one's in the circle. It's just going to be a massive fight going on.
But all those
Right.
Indonesian players have to walk straight into the Thai roster. So if Thailand can work out where they're coming from, can lock that down, there's an opportunity for them to bring this man advantage back and still 3-0 this. Oh my! There's an APC. My head's gone so much. I've forgotten the name of it. But
The BRDM.
That's
The
it.
BRDM is in.
imagine if he's just going to get like a triple kill with it.
There we go. The
Rusty
frag
gets
coming
out.
in on return. I think we have the comms for Indonesia. If we can jump straight in, it's going to be great to see what's happening here. Look at where Thai.
What is
are.
going on?
Okay,
Oh my
right.
God.
If we do have the comms, we're going to jump straight in there. But you can see Indonesia. They're just trapped in a little valley at the moment. It's Thailand. Here we go. Comms.
Wah. Nice. Wait. Push ke kanan terus, coy. Push ke kanan terus. Minta air gak tuh? Di atas bukit-bukit ada, batu-batu itu ada, coy, di balik batu. Di sini ya, perang di sini. Perang di situ mereka. Walah.
God, look at the kill feed.
Thailand stopping the entire force of Indonesia coming in. And it looks like it's just gone into the favor of Thailand right now. Going to the comms there, you can definitely tell the Defiant, he is in comms
Half the
with
servers
the
not
team leaders.
Hello. Half the servers crawling around on the ground. It's the Asian Thermopylae right now. It's the valiant defenders of Thailand holding against the superior forces. And everyone is knocked.
dear.
Everyone is knocked. There's like 3 people alive. What is going on?
Thailand is still on top of this massive rock feature. Managed to get in.
It's gonna get-
Look at
he's gonna
where
get so
the
many
attack is.
players.
He's just seen 3 of them. He's getting shot at, but they're all
I got
three. The attack
got
is playing 3. It's 6 for 9. Thailand have 6 players. Indonesia
They're
have
going to
7.
win this.
No way.
No way are Thailand going to win this. They've just killed so many Indonesian players. It's now a 6v6. It's a 6v5 as all these players are knocked.
Where are the remaining players? Where are the remaining Indonesian players?
I think only one of them's actually up. I think this might be. No, there's 2 behind it as well, long distance. So there's 3 players up for Indonesia. I don't know what's going on. 6v3 now. I mean, it's still winnable. Run him over. Come on. Finish it off with the bike. Just run. Just go to. Oh, the BRDM's out as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
they've
no.
got...
They're going to get a kill with it. If they
How do
don't
you
get a
manage to
kill with the
get
BRDM, if Thailand don't get a BRDM kill, can we just give a 3-0 to Indonesia, please? Like, just hand Indonesia the win, because it would be disrespectful to not use it that way. To not win the game with the BRDM. It's a race for the circle now.
Yeah, if I was Indonesia, I'd just go to like top right corner of this circle.
Run.
Yeah, just go.
But
Wait,
literally, like a
BRDM
3v6 is really winnable. He's actually going for the kill, isn't he? Like, he's just going for it. He's trying so hard, trucking along.
God,
Can't heal inside, obviously, so he has to stay low HP and pray that he can find someone. He's ambushing with it. It looks like he's waiting. He can heal inside. I've changed it. Never mind. But it looks like he's waiting for someone to appear from the shadows that he can run them over.
Well, this could be it for Indonesia. Thailand
Oh,
would make this a 3-0 series.
Is it going to happen? Oh, he's going to drive past him.
Doesn't
But
spot
this might be good for the Indonesian players. You might be able to ambush the players that are walking around. You know, the car giving a false sense of security. There's still an opportunity to win this, but 6v3, it's going to be tough. Each player now needs to get 2 kills each for this to be realistic. Kells is playing the PUBG. Everyone else is He's playing for kills purely. He's playing for survival. Oh, I think Chibber
Very
just
good.
spotted one there, but did he get spotted in return? No, he didn't. He's going to get the knock. Can he get the flush as well?
No, the flush doesn't come in, but he's got him low
But he got
enough
it
that
eventually.
sticks. Now he needs to just be a bit careful. His position has been given away. And I'm going
I
to
kind of want to
presume
just
here.
run. Just run and go high,
Yeah,
like prone in the corner now, because they're going to come looking for you. They're in that man advantage. He's got that teammates on the hill as well. They might be able to help him out. If he just chills in here, there's not much to the Thai team can do.
He's coming back. He's coming back.
Rumble in the jungle with the cars right now as the final players of Indonesia try and hold out Thailand. But
Oh my God, look, State Badak, he's on the flank. He might be able to cut these two players off that are coming in.
if he can get 2 down, suddenly it's a 3v3.
That's 3 pushing in.
I think State Badak might be able to get a big play here. They're looking for a Chibri. He should be able to hear them come in. Oh, this might be the angle. He's striking from behind. The perfect timing. He's going to run out. He's going to have an on-play on 2. Gets 1, but he gets traded. It was almost beautiful, but it didn't quite work out. Thailand flushing 2, and now a 1v5. We saw Duckmans do it for Thailand earlier. Can Kells do a 1v5 to save Indonesia's series against Thailand and to stop them from going down to the lower bracket?
Take it to Vikendi. It's all down.
He sent a circle.
It's all down.
He's playing the game right. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think because like all the team captains are in like a different team speak with Defiant, so he definitely has no communication if they're on separate squads. So it's going to be very hard for them to communicate, but he's the last person remaining, and all he needs to do is just hold this. Here we go. The siege of, where are we on the map? Just
We're just outside of Cow, I believe.
okay.
Just south of Cow.
The siege of Cow.
Siege of Cow didn't quite work. Siege of
Mongnai. Mongnai.
The challenge of the crossroads. There we go. There's a good one. Well, it's not great, but we've got to find a name before we can cast it. But the 1v5 is feeling like a tactical shooter right now as we have a clutch needed from Kells.
Very big clutch needed, definitely, and he's trying to get into a better position.
Killing each other. Thailand are doing Thailand things.
No, why would you do this?
No, it's because they can't see each other. Remember?
Oh, they can't. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they keep knocking each other. They just can't help it, can they? You can't help it.
It's like, oh, sorry.
At least the rest comes in. No harm done apart from the rest.
That's actually very lucky. Would that be a straight death if he had no one alive on his squad?
No, it still counts as a knock. It's just that the only difference is you just can't see them. Like you can't see the thing above their head, but you can see them on the map. So people obviously just not paying attention. Kells keeps falling off this. It's not that. Just stop pressing D.
Yeah,
just get up there and stop pressing D.
Stop making noise, my bro.
He keeps jumping up and they're walking left and getting surprised when he falls off. Oh. But they're searching the compound. I think this is where you'd expect him to be, right? You'd expect him to be sat in a compound. So they're looking for him now, trying to find where he is. Not because spinning around shooting things. He can definitely hear them now. But the problem is this position, if he gets that initial knock and then they just swing on him, it's going to be very hard for him to get more than one kill.
Okay, he hears them jumping in. He's got the aim ready, primed, and perfect. The trade needs to come in. He looks away for the last second. Gets one. No, he doesn't. He looked away at the last second. Hemkels is not going to take Indonesia further. But oh my God, Saint, what another close game.
What is going on? I'm sitting here trying to be all serious, trying to commentate it, and it's just chaos. We've got like 20 people up on a rock fighting each other. We've got one guy just chilling in a building whilst the rest of his team dies. We've got a guy swimming next to someone else that's not on his team. They're not on his team, and he's just swimming next to him. I don't know what's going on.
As you stated, no one got the reference. It was the Thermopylae there. That's 300 versus the Persians. That's exactly what Thailand did, and they did manage to get it. Like, look at this.
And that worked. It worked perfectly. I mean, that's the worst trip I've ever seen in PUBG. I've never seen someone in my life just try and fail so hard at jumping out a window.
This is insane. Any more? Never more.
That's how you use Windows. You don't trip and get knocked.
But this is insane. This really put Indonesia into a good fighting position.
Oh, what a game. What a series as well. The first game was a blowout, but those second two were magical experiences.
Magical indeed. Oh my days. Yeah, here we go.
They use this rock to perfection. They got on top of it, and you could trade so easily as well, because you could just peek over. Even if you get a knock, you just call back. Teammate rests you, but he doesn't need to get knocked. He just gets 3, just like that. Range helped him out, but it was perfect. And the final 1v1, he whiffs his shots a little bit, and Tong just absolutely destroys him. So a beautiful performance by Thailand, but definitely a really fun series to watch and a really close one as well, with particularly that Miramar and Sana.
That's what we love to see. Viewing pleasure, straight for you guys. You know, we get the closest of games and the entertaining thanks to Thailand. But I never knew you could get on top of those rocks. I never knew that was a possibility. I thought they were designed in a way where you couldn't get on top of.
I mean, there are a lot of things in this game that are designed to stop you from getting on that you can still get on. So that's just PUBG for you. But yeah, I think you've been able to get on them pretty much since the release of the map. It's a bit awkward because I think it was actually when they added vaulting, it became a lot easier because obviously you could jump up now and grab onto the ledges, which is why there's a lot of things that you shouldn't be able to get on that you can, because they didn't design a map for that vaulting system. But still, it makes for such an entertaining match to watch. The fact that they can get up on there, and realistically, it worked out perfectly for Thailand. It was a really smart plan by them to get up there, to get control of the high ground, and particularly in a position where they can't get flushed if they do get knocked, because they can just fall back and get rest.
That's the thing. They did go into the start of that game with a massive man disadvantage, losing the bootcamp fight. But being able to get into a position to work at your advantage where you can get 2 kills before you initially die. It was still... who was it? God's... what's his name? That guy.
So Niotica get 3.
Yeah, God Niotica managed to get 3, but I'm pretty sure he got more than that before that 3 kill came in as well. So he just did a bunch of work for Thailand to bring them back and send them to the victory as well. Amazing.
And that puts them in the grand final now. So they get to skip the next day of the broadcast, where we'll see the losers bracket play out, where we'll see the winner of that initial losers game between Philippines and Cambodia, which I presume will be the Philippines based on the first 2 games. But they will be playing Indonesia for their spot in the grand final, and potentially we'll get another rematch of this, which based on those 2 games is going to be a great one. Even if it's a 4-0, it's going to be a great one. But yeah, potentially we see a new one. We see that Philippines come back and clutch up versus Indonesia like they couldn't do in the first series, and maybe push themselves to a Thailand final. But I think Thailand's really shown that they're the best team in this tournament today.
Absolutely. If it's 7 games, then you're definitely going to be able to see Vikendi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see all 4 maps. Yeah.
But let's have a look at the leaderboards straight after the end of that game and see who exactly are the MVPs. And 3 players for Thailand with 7 kills, followed by 2 players with 6 kills, and then 2 with 5, and 4 being the nice number there. Every single person. Oh, no, not every single person. I thought nearly
2
everyone
people
got
letting the team down. Oh.
Letting the team
Might as well just give the 3-0 to Indonesia. What a disgrace. I'm joking. Obviously, I mean, we see the same thing on Indonesia. Even though they got 3-0'd, 24 of the players were helping out. So that is why those games were close, because 24 players were able to have an impact. Yes, they lost 3-0. But like, you compare that to the Cambodia game, and you think like one moment could have changed that from a 3-0 in Thailand's favour to a 2-1 to Indonesia.
Yeah, look, anymore, 5 kills. State Bad, 6 kills. They're up there. They are making the differences for Indonesia, and I feel like not very evenly matched, but really closely matched, those 2 regions, Indonesia and Thailand. And if Indonesia managed to beat Philippines again, then we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful grand finals for the Southeast Asia region for the Nations Royale. You can see, there you go. That is what the brackets currently look like. Philippines won against Cambodia, so they're going to be rematching against Indonesia.
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of time before that game. We'll be back on May the 31st, I believe, the same time of day as well, for that best of 7. So we're going to see all 4 maps. Yeah, we didn't see Vikendi today, but we will definitely see on May the 31st. And I'm really excited to see what happens in that Indonesia-Philippines game, because we didn't get to see it in the first time. We know it was a 3-2, so we know it was a bloody good game. A best of 7 with 2 teams that are really evenly matched. We could go all 7 maps.
Ooh, baby. All 7 maps. Do we bring out the new map?
I believe it's you have to pick. I think it's all 4. So Wrangel, Miramar, Sanok, Vikendi, and then the next 3 are vetoed. So you don't play one of them, and you play them in an order based on the vetoes. But yeah, we're going to see Vikendi for sure on May the 31st, which I'm very excited about.
Get to see the game.
That Miramar and Sanok game, some of the best PUBG I've ever watched.
That is some of the best PUBG. Honestly, I really like the Nations Royale. Every time I watch
it's
every time I
fun.
participate,
Yeah.
It's just so much fun. It's just brought a whole new level of competitiveness to PUBG. That's all you need.
I mean, the best thing about it is it's hilarious, but it's also competitive. Like it's not just that it's just this chaos. There is actually strategy to it.
Right, now, if you have tuned in and you really enjoyed watching the Southeast Asian region, your region, of course, all the viewers here are probably from that region. You want to see what the other regions are doing, tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. It's going to be North America and Europe, if I heard that correctly, or I could be wrong. I'll be corrected and slapped on the wrist for getting that wrong. Europe and North America, indeed, tomorrow. Or all the Americas, actually. All the Americas. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in for that wonderful set of games. It's been my pleasure, absolutely. And make sure you tune in tomorrow and also tune in for the consolidation finals and the grand finals that are yet to come. But for now, take care and have a wonderful day.